confidence comes from preparation, man. Like if you're training for a 100-meter sprint, you got to think about it in the Olympics. Athletes train for 4 years just to get to that one run, bro. They put in so many hours, and when they get there, of course, they're always confident, bro, because they know I've put in all the work. I've done this. I've gotten up at 4 a.m. every day. I've recovered well. I've done everything. And if you just cross your T's, dot your I's, and you prepare well, that's where your confidence will come from.
On today's episode, I'm speaking with Paul Nguyen. He's a 26-year-old entrepreneur running 3 businesses, one in marketing, one in events, and one in supplements. How crazy. Let's dive in. How do you deal with failure?
I look for the opportunity to grow in that situation, man. You know what it is? It's perspective. It's all perspective, because I might fail at something and I'm like, man, I'm actually blessed to have the opportunity to fail at this. There are people laying on their deathbed right now wishing they had my opportunity to fail at what I just failed at now. They won't fail at that. They can't, because they don't have the opportunity to be in that. And it's all about perspective for me, man. It's a blessing for me.
Paul, thank you for jumping on the All Business Baby podcast.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you coming on. I guess to start, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your main business? Because I know you got several, but your main business.
Yeah, no, of course. All right, so yeah, my name's Paul. I'm the owner, director and founder of Creative Culture HQ, which is my main business. It's my baby. It's a full-scale marketing agency. I've had the agency now for 3.5 years, and yeah, like collectively as a team, we have over 25 years of experience. So we've been able to put that into 3.5 years and scale, you know, obviously around Sydney, interstate, but also internationally as well, man. So we provide services like videography, graphic design, photography, your digital marketing as well, which includes your social media management, your ads management, and we also do websites too, man. So
you do the lot.
Pretty much, man. We want to be what we call a 360 marketing agency, whereas it's your one-stop shop for everything, because we've noticed that with the service that we provide, or we focus so strongly on providing. A lot of our customers, let's say they'll get a videography service from us, but they'll be like, you know what, we want this type of service, but with digital marketing as well. So that's where it started off with. I started this business starting off as a photography company only. I did do digital marketing in my previous job, and so that's where that expertise comes from. And then we bridge into graphic design and then videography as well, man. So
right, so it started with one business, and that's kind of just evolved into a sort of all providing service marketing agency.
100%. Yep. Like I'll be honest, when I first started the company, it was meant to be photography, and I never really saw it as something that would grow this big. Yeah, it just I just stopped saying no to jobs one day, and it went crazy, man. So
look, I've been following your journey for some time now, and I know that you've been working with some pretty big clients out there. Could you just tell us how you were able to get that opportunity to work with some of the big clients, being kind of a few years into business only?
Yeah, of course. No, so like for me, the biggest thing that paid off for me, man, was relationships. Relationships, I feel like with anything, it's
powerful.
100%, man. If people feel like they can work with you and the working synergy is strong, that's where you can build those relationships and land those clients as well. Like it was funny because the first ever big client that we landed as a company was Westfield, right? And I asked Westfield, I was like, hey, how did you guys hear about us? And they were like, oh, well, we put something up on our stories and someone recommended you guys. And I was like, oh, who was it? And I asked for the name, and I hadn't actually spoken to that person in about 3 years. So I messaged him, I was like, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. He's like, man, Paulie, to be honest, you've helped me, along the way before your business. I used to work at a supplement store. He's like, you've helped me a lot. And every time we've had a chat, it's just always been a good chat, man. He's like, you're a good bloke. I see you having a crack. So every day of the week, I'm going to put you forward, man. So
that's amazing. He likes and trusts you, and that's part of the relationship, right? And
100%.
I think you make a really good point, because relationship, like it's important when you get into business, building those relationships, because, I know a lot of marketers out there. I know a lot of accountants, advisors, tradies, whatever it is, but I generally will work with or refer work to people I know, like, and trust. Yeah. And that's part of that relationship.
And it comes down to trust, man, because at the end of the day, whether you're a consumer or whether you're selling something, a product or a service, it's all about who you trust with your money. Am I going to trust my money with this agency? Am I going to trust my money with this trade or with this service, with this product? Am I going to get my money's worth with this product? That's what it comes down to, man. And trust is built off relationships and experiences with people, man. So
no, that's amazing stuff. So, before we get more into the business, I'd like to take a step back and rewind to the beginnings of Paul. Yeah. What were you doing prior to doing business or running 3 businesses, creative culture. Just share that with the audience.
Of course, man. So when I was 11, my first ever job that, my family kind of did it as well with me. So what they did was we used to deliver brochures around the area, which was good. And also on school holidays as well, I'd go up to Port Macquarie, where my uncle had a Thai restaurant. And that's where he kind of taught me customer service too. So I'm forever grateful for that. He taught me how to handle money, and also it took me out of my comfort zone, because as an 11-year-old kid, I'd have to go up to different tables and be like, hey, what can I get for you? And they're like, do you have a recommendation? I'm like,
I'm 11 years old.
100%. And I'm like, I'm 11 years old, but I like this. And it took me out of my comfort zone, and I was able to do that. And I remember I would work like, a whole weekend, and then I'd get like $200, and I'm like, holy crap, this is crazy. And as an 11-year-old kid, like,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of money, 100%. And then from there, I worked at Macca's for 5 years, from when I was about 13, 14, nearly 14. I started my Macca's journey, worked there for 5 years as well. And man, it's true what they say. Hey, you learn so much when you work at Macca's, because it's so systematic. The culture there is good, and you learn a lot of stuff too. They really foster on your development, man. And that's why you'll notice that Macca's, they hire people that also have, disabilities as well. I like to say abilities, which is good, because their systems are so good that anyone can do it. It doesn't, so that's what I appreciate. And to be honest, I've kind of taken that and I try and put that into my business, the structures, because I want to be a structured company like Macca's, because if they go to open up in the corner like tomorrow, they can operate well because they have everything in place. Everything's in place, everything's systematic. And at that time, go.
They actually invested a lot into the legal team to work out where the best location is, where a lot of traffic would be. So there's not only the systems, but also they think about where to actually plant their business and locate 100%. Their business, which is amazing.
100%, man. And during that time too, during school, so I would work at Macca's Monday to Friday, like all those days. And then on the weekend, I'd be a waiter at a restaurant as well. So that's what I did there, man.
Going back to that Thai restaurant story, did the patrons ever give you a look and go, the hell's this 11-year-old kid doing?
Never. You know what? Because it was in Port Macquarie, when you go to the coast, right? Everyone's relaxed. Yeah. And why wouldn't you be? You live in a nice town. It's cool. Like, it's just, everyone's very chill. I think if anything, they were like, oh, this is really nice to see.
Yeah.
Nice.
So no, that's good. So then, So that's a bit about how you got your customer service experience. What went through your mind to go, I want to start that photography business that eventually led on to Creative Culture HQ?
So first of all, man, like, all right, so I worked first when I left school, I went straight into logistics. I was a forklift driver, and I handled all the HP freight. So HP laptops, printers, ink cartridges that came in from China, and I sent them off to JB Hi-Fi, Officeworks, and companies like that. That was really good pay coming out of school, fresh 18, forklift driver. Obviously had to get a license for that, and that was good pay. But then that was the job that taught me, it's not about the money, because I would go into an environment that wasn't the best. Everyone's swearing, everyone's trying to put each other down. No one really wants you to win. So it was good. It was high paying for me at the time at 18. I did that for 2 years. And then that's when I was like, you know what? Maybe it's not about the money for me. Maybe it's about something I love doing. So that's when I got back into the fitness industry. I started working for a supplement store, took a pay cut, started working for the supplement store. And that for me was a lot more rewarding. I was working more hours, getting paid less than what I was doing before. However, it was a lot more rewarding for me. A long period of that time, I felt like, I wasn't going to work. And I love that as well. Yeah. I got to help people every single day. People would come to me and be like, 100%. Get big, lose weight, feel better, increase.
Making a difference.
Of course, making a difference. And that's what I love doing, man. And it was good. And unfortunately, that workplace got a little bit toxic when it came to business culture, which was actually one of my other drivers when it came to launching this. So I was at a pivot point in my life where I was like, okay, so it's clearly not about the money, but it's more about doing what I love as well. And I said, okay, there's two paths I can go here. I can go down the photography route, or I can go down a fitness route again, be a personal trainer, open up a gym or whatever it is. I just knew at that point in time, because I was working from I'd have an alarm set at 6:30 a.m., post a story, go back to sleep for another hour, get ready for work 9 to 5, and then get home. And then 5 to 11, I'm still working on the company unpaid. And I was like, man, if I'm investing this many hours into a business and obviously helping it grow, if I put that into myself, I don't see myself not making it, man. So that's exactly what I did. I didn't have a plan. I left that full-time job, and then I bought a camera. Spent the first 4 weeks leveraging off the relationships I had built in the previous job, as well as the relationships I've just built growing up as well. built a clientele, built the foundations of my business. And then, 6 weeks later, I replaced my full-time income of what I was being paid in the last job while only working 14 days as well, man. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
6 weeks to replace your full-time job
Yeah.
income. That's
and
unheard
working
of.
half the time as well. So that was crazy to me. So yeah, it was good.
That's amazing. So, picking up a camera, I know your brother pretty well for some time now. And I know he was into his photography. He always I remember a long time ago, he had a camera and I'm like, the hell are you doing? Right? And this is before, I think, social media and all that stuff at the time. But, talk to us about his role and impact in your business.
Yeah, of course, man. So there's two parts of it. He plays a role before and he also plays a role after and during as well. So the role before, man, he's obviously had a camera. I've always seen him grow up and I'd see his passion in photography. So he would go to work on the weekends and then I would take his camera and then go shoot my friends, right? So that we can post photos of ourselves on social media. We'll get a whole change of clothes and then we'll go and just shoot each other every single Sunday religiously.
Just for context, Paul is actually a model for Calvin Klein.
I did a bit of modeling back in the day, but now I much prefer this side of the camera, bro. So yeah, man. And it was when it came to setting up the camera, shooting manual mode, like my brother took me from shooting automatic, and my shooters will get this. He took me from shooting from automatic settings to manual settings, man. So when it comes to shutter speed, aperture, ISOs, he told me all of that. Yeah, man, that's where he helped me. And he obviously had the camera as well. That I could shoot off, and it was good because it was a point where I was shooting my mates, and man, the photos I'm taking of them, like it's their new Tinder profile, it's their new Facebook profile. They're confident, they're happy, and I saw this spark in them that these photos I was taking of them gave them confidence 100%. Then I would see the photos that they'll take of me, and it's a bit like blurry and
the self-esteem just went
100%. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm actually all right at this. Like maybe I should explore it. But overall, I actually loved facilitating that confidence to people, and I still do it to these days when I shoot people's portraits, I shoot people at the gym, or even for brands as well. Brands, let's say a fashion brand or a product, they'll bring out a fashion piece, and then I'll shoot their brand, and they'll see the photos like, holy crap, that's I did
awesome,
that. I did that, and it gives them, I guess, confidence in all the work that they're doing in the brand that they've brought out as well, man. And I love facilitating that. And how my brother plays a role now, one of my first ever shooters, man. And in business, you would know this, you need people around you that you can trust.
Yep.
And my brother is someone that I can trust to the day I die, bro. Like,
yeah, of course.
He's 100% his blood, and he's always got my back. He's always got my best interest at heart.
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, big shout out to Chris, man. Big shout out to Chris. And so, like, if I need something shot, or there's a last minute change, a shooter calls in sick, a shooter can't make it, and the shoot we need to facilitate, and I give him a buzz, man, he'll get it done for me. Even if it's during the week and he has a full-time job, he'll be like, oh, okay, is it around this time? I'm gonna take a longer lunch or whatever it is, just so I can go out, step out, and then I'll come back to my job just so that I can get that done for you, man. And something that
always there when you call us.
100%, I appreciate that, man. We call him Mr. Reliable, bro. So yeah, man, he's always there.
No, that's awesome. So in terms of when you actually started the business, I think you went through actually a tough period during COVID.
Yes, that's correct.
Talk us through that, how you overcame that, and if you can share a tip or tips from your experience to our audience who is thinking about getting into business but just hasn't done it yet. What would you tell them? Yeah,
of course, man. All right, so a couple months in, so I started my business in 2021, right? In April. So it was a few months before the second COVID lockdown. So I was shooting for quite a few months, and like I said, within 6 weeks, I had replaced my full-time income. So I'm on a high, I'm flying right now, right? And then COVID lockdown came, and I was like, okay, so I can't really go out and shoot. Now, with every situation, good or bad, there's always an extra opportunity there somewhere. You just have to look for it, right? So that's exactly what happened. I couldn't go out to shoot, so I was like, okay, how can I still make money from home, and how can I keep this business alive? So that's where I taught myself graphic design. Now, everyone always wants to start a business. Everyone I speak to, their only excuses typically is that they don't have time, they don't have the money. So now they're at home and they're getting paid to be at home too. So they got the time, they got the money. Now business logos are flowing in, business cards, and also, social media assets as well. So we're creating that, and we got so busy that I hired 2 other graphic designers to help me out. Graphic designers are a lot better than I am. They had been doing it for a lot of years as well. Now they were handling that side of the business once it took off. And then I was like, okay, now how can I continue to shoot? I had a lot of product photography clients at the time, and what they did was they were sending their products from Melbourne, from Sydney, from Brisbane to my house where I had set up a home studio just so I can shoot their products as well, man. So that's what it is. And all it comes down to is, I guess, one, confidence, but always seeking the opportunity in every situation as well, good or bad. And there's always an opportunity there to grow, man. And the thing is as well, and why I guess I didn't really crumble during that period is I had a lot of faith in the preparation leading up to that. Like in my head, I remember thinking, I was like, man, I didn't build this business as fresh as it was to crumble under a lockdown. Because I knew that I did the background work and the foundations to make sure that, you know, if something was to fall or to not go well, it wouldn't knock over the whole business, man. So yeah, that was my mindset. So making sure that you prepare, because confidence comes from preparation, man. Like, you know, if you're training for, you know, 100-meter sprint, you got to think about it in Olympics. Athletes train for 4 years just to get to that 10 second, that one run, bro, that 10 second run. But they put in so many hours. And when they get there, of course, they're always confident, bro, because they know I've put in all the work. I've done this. I've gotten up at 4 a.m. every day. I've recovered well. I've done everything. And if you just cross your T's, dot your I's, and you prepare well, that's where your confidence will come from, man. So if I had any tip, if I had a tip for people looking to start their business, man, is just to start. Like I know a lot of people, they plan a lot and they don't execute. Sometimes you just have to jump into it when you're not ready. Just so
dive in blind
and then find your way from there, man. Because like I said, when I started this business, I didn't have the vision for where it is today. It built as I went. It built as my confidence grew. It built as my business grew as well. And the biggest thing is you always have to back yourself, because in business, there'll always be days where you feel lonely, man. There'll be days where you feel like there is no one there for you. There's no one that understands your vision. But that doesn't matter if you back yourself and you understand your vision as well. So, man.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good tip to dive into it, especially if you've thought about it for some time. You know, when you think about something, it's just, and you continually think about it, it's your subconscious telling you that, you know, have a fucking crack.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and as you say, you didn't have a plan going in. And I'd say sometimes you would need a plan, but in most cases, if you don't have one, but you've been thinking about it, just do it. Because in business, and you know, judging from you or hearing from your story, you know that it changes every day.
100%.
You know, whatever you've planned to do or your goals were for the next 12 months, it's going to change. And that's because of the relationships you build, the people you meet, you know, the clients that you get. It changes or pivots your business. And in your situation here as well, COVID, nothing that you can control, changed your business as well, and your mindset. And you
100%.
go and you went, okay, well, I can't do this now. I've got to pivot and do that. So there is one constant in business, and that's change, but that's also in life.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, even I'll give you an example. A couple of months ago, I was working on building the Melbourne office and the Melbourne team. You know, scouting candidates and, you know, future team members and stuff like that. However, business opportunity came up, and I started my third business, which is The Cave, which is a photo studio and event space. So I put all my focus into that instead, because at the end of the day, business opportunities, they don't come up all the time. So when you see it, you need to take it. So that's exactly what I did, man. And I'll still have that Melbourne office. I'll still have the Brisbane office. But yeah, that just might be a little bit later down the track. 100%,
yeah, that's
man.
right.
So
yeah, you can't focus on too many things at once. Otherwise, you don't get things done.
Yeah.
Now, can you share with us? No, so Creative Culture is now in year 3, year 4.
Yeah, it's going on to 4. It's year 3 at the moment.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges you've recently faced in year 3, year 4 of this business?
Scaling while keeping the quality the same, man.
Tough, hey?
That's tough, because you start to hire a lot of people, and it's very hard to effectively manage a lot of people. At the start of your business, when you have your hands in everything, you're able to control a lot of variables and stuff like that. And I've done things, you know, to try and make sure that we can control the quality. Like, nothing's outsourced in the company. Everything's always internal, and we definitely don't send stuff overseas to be edited or whatever it is. I know a lot of agencies do, and that's okay. It's just something that, you know, a part of our values is to make sure that we have quality assurance, that we have it all internal, because we can actually control the outcome a lot easier, a lot better. We can communicate a lot more effectively as well. So yeah, man, that's what we do there. So
what else are you doing now to try and scale whilst keeping the same quality?
Two things. Systems and structures are super important. To be honest, it's been one of the most challenging things, because I've learned everything along the way myself. I've put the systems and strategies in place, but it's all in my head. And it's all in my head as well, right? So then when someone asks me, hey, how do I do this? I'm like, wait, I have to have it written down somewhere, man. So I have a thing where I call it System Saturdays. So on a Saturday, I'll just work on systems. And even if it's just one system at a time, get that written down. And then, or even just voice memo it to myself. And then make sure that's implemented as well, man. Systems is very important because like we spoke about before, Macca's, man, they have so many systems in place that they could open up on a corner tomorrow and they'll be running fine because everything is there that you need in order for the business to operate. For me, there's two stages of business that you typically try and get to, right? The first one is to make sure that your business runs when you're not there. The second one is to make sure your business grows when you're not there.
Yes.
So in order to do that, it's systems for sure, man. And the second thing that we've done is that I have an excellent team of managers. Amazing team of managers, man. I have my marketing manager, a head of marketing. I have my general manager, which is awesome. She looks after the culture and just your general stuff with the team. Then I also have my content production manager as well, man. Very, very strong. Everyone has like over 15 years of experience in their field.
You need the right people.
100%, 100%, man, because it's easy to hire people and you tell them what to do. It's hard to hire people and have them tell you what to do. So to bring processes to a table, to say, you know what, I think we should implement this. If we do things this way, it's going to be a lot more effective. It's going to be a lot more efficient. And that's one of the key things that has been able to get Creative Culture HQ to where it is today in a short period of time, because it was hiring the right people as well. And in order to hire the right people, yes, you do have to go through people that weren't exactly the right fit for the company.
Fun times, huh?
Fun times, man. Hiring is probably one of the most challenging things for the businessman, but making sure that when you do hire, that things are like, you know, your staff are aligned. That's a very, very big thing as well, man, especially core values too, man. So, yeah.
I think that's a really good point. So, you know, when you get into business, first couple of years, you're kind of just head down, down, thumbs up, but you're head down, smashing the work, saying yes to everything, trying to grow that business to a certain point where it's stable. When you actually start to hire people, you spoke about values. That's where businesses should start to think about the value, the mission statement of their business. It sounds a bit corny, whatever it is, but you have to actually get to that point, because then how else is everyone else going to latch on to the same vision and move the same way that you want to move? And you make a really good point there that you were able to develop that, find the right people who share the same values as you and the vision, but now they are contributing in ways like they also own the business. And that's a big retention strategy, I believe, because you know, you're not telling them what to do. They're actually coming to you, they're owning their roles and actually giving value back. And to me, I think when employees do that, staff members do that, team members do that, it becomes theirs as well.
100%.
It's not just about the financial side of things. I think that's important, but anyone can go to any job and get paid well. But what keeps them there is the culture.
100%.
The vision and the values, making sure that they're actually making contributions to the business. So it's clear that that's what you've
it's super important for a team member to feel like they're growing as the business grows as well, right? Because I've been in a position where I feel like the company's growing, but I don't feel like I'm growing. And it's not financially, I mean, as a person, as a human. So as a manager, you have to give the opportunities for your team members to actually take hold of something, make it their own, and then be able to grow it, man, because that gives them fulfillment as well, man. So
yeah, it's a big thing. So in terms of the current challenges that you've faced recently, is there one experience, one tip that you can share with the audience that can help them during their sort of growth phase as well?
Yeah, man. I think it's not gonna necessarily be with like the challenges I've faced as of late, because there's so many that I've faced throughout the business, man. I think the biggest thing is creating a safe environment for people to fail, because business is just as much like it's just as much about correcting your errors as it is about limiting them. Because when you have errors, that's your opportunity to be able to put in structures and procedures to make sure that things don't happen again, but to also make sure that it strengthens your business as well. Make sure you detach your emotions from money. That's a very, very big thing. And yeah, man, always back yourself, but always have the right people around you as well, man.
Yeah, that's really good. I think failure is the best teacher. How do you deal with failure?
I look for the opportunity to grow in that situation, man. You know what it is? It's perspective. It's all perspective, because at the end of the day, like I might fail at something, right? I might fail at something and I'm like, man, I'm actually blessed to have the opportunity to fail at this. A lot of people, and I put it back to this perspective with a lot of things in life. I'm like, man, there are people laying on their deathbed right now wishing they had my opportunity to fail at what I just failed at now. They won't fail at that. They can't, because they don't have the opportunity to be in that. And it's all about perspective for me, man. It's a blessing for me.
That's
because
deep.
yeah, 100%, bro. Like, it's just, that's what it comes down to. It's all about perspective and gratitude, man. Because as tough as challenges and situations might be, man, there's always going to be someone that's in a tougher situation than you. So yeah, you got to recognize that, and you got to believe that.
Yeah, I do it slightly differently. When I fail, I sit there and cry for a little bit, get into fetal position.
Yeah.
But just to let go of the emotion of failing.
Yeah.
But then you've got to switch that mindset and go, okay, what did I do wrong there? How can I prevent that from happening again? And put those things in place, or systems and structures in place, and communicate to others to say, hey, this is my learning experience, to then move forward. So it's okay to cry a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. I think self-reflection's good, man. I think self-reflection's good, man.
But it hurts me, like when I fail and make those errors, because we all make them. It just I think it's because I carry myself with a lot of pride in the work that I do. So when it does fail, it hits hard.
Of course.
But yeah, it's the lesson is to get up. And if you don't get up, no one's going to feel sorry for you but you, right? And nothing's going to move and change. So
100%. I think that's it's a really powerful thing, knowing that you are the one that has the power and the ability to change a situation.
It's all mindset learning,
Absolutely,
speaking to you, right? So you are now, as you mentioned, running 3 businesses.
Yeah.
So it's Creative Culture HQ, the 360 marketing agency. You've mentioned there's a supplement
company. Yeah, an online supplement store as well, Supp Culture.
Yeah.
And then there's the Cave, which is the newest baby.
Before we get into the newest baby,
yeah.
talk about the supplements culture business and how you're running that now.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so what I've done, right? My time, well, the reason why I brought it out is because I came from the supplement industry. I have a strong reputation in the supplement industry, and I noticed that years after I had left that that sales role at my previous job, people were still asking me, man, like, what would you take? How can how can you help this situation? What supplements? 100%. Yeah, can I get your opinion on this supplement? And then I'll just send them to a supplement store for them to pick up the product. And I was like, you know what? If people have this trust and they come to me because they want my advice, then why don't I just create an online supplement store, and then I'll just shift them to my store and I can supply them supplements, typically even at a cheaper price than what other companies will sell it for. So that's how that baby was launched, and it's all about passion, man. I haven't really taken any profits from that company. That one's definitely not about the money for me. It doesn't pay the bills. That one is just for fulfillment, because I'm able to help people, man. The way that I run that, because CCHQ takes up majority of my time, all of my time. So I had to figure out a way to make sure that runs without me. So I partnered with PTs and I partnered with gyms. So they have a referral code and a discount code. Whenever orders are put through in an X amount of times that the code's used, the incentive is that PT or that gym gets a free stack of supplements, whether they want to use it to promote and give out on social media as a giveaway for a marketing stunt, or they use it for their personal use, man. That's how I do it there. So I just see the orders roll through, just make sure I fulfill those orders. But in terms of making the sales, I get to my consumer by using people that have relationships with that consumer already and that trust, man.
Other referral partners.
100%, man.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
What about the third business? I don't know how you have all the time, but what about the third business?
The third one is, man, I'm so excited for that one. So that's being built now, where the walls are being put up, the concrete's being polished and painted, and the infinity walls going up early next week as well, man. And that one's called the Cave. Yeah. The Cave. The Cave's a photo studio and an event space as well. So the photo studio is a 430 square meter studio. It's got a 7x7 by 4.5 high infinity wall, which is amazing. 45 different color backdrops. It's got your makeup sections, and it's also obviously got your sofa and kickback session as well. When you're not shooting, when you're not on set, you need to have a meeting or a briefing session before you shoot. It's all there. Yeah, man, it's a place that's only limited by your imagination. You can turn it into whatever you want to turn it into. You can have your photo shoots there. You can hire it out for parties. You can hire it out for seminars and workshops. It definitely will fit quite a lot of people. You've got your bench to facilitate any food and catering, desserts, whatever it is, to make sure everyone's happy. It's a space that you go into. The reason why I called it the Cave, and the experience that I want to bring out in people. I went to Samoa a couple years ago in 2019, and we went for a swim in this cave. And I remember entering that cave, and it was magical. It was dark, and it was just magical. The reflection of the blue water hitting up on the black caves of the wall. The sides of the wall, man. It was a feeling that I'll never forget. Yeah. And when people walk into the cave, I want people to experience that. Like they walk in and like, wow, like this is magical. But also when they walk in, yeah, and when they walk into the cage, when they walk into the cave, I want them to experience like that feeling, but to understand that this is where magic happens and they can create it.
Well, whoever it is, it could be a cage too, and they can start an MMA fight.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny because I have a room upstairs that's called the cage, and that's where all our gear is. It's our gear cage.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, man.
Makes sense. So the cave, that's actually in the new office.
Yes, it is.
Where Creative Culture
so Creative Culture HQ, the office is upstairs.
Yeah.
Downstairs is the cave, man. So one site, two different businesses. Yeah, man.
So really, you've been able to now grow or expand Creative Culture now into a second business, but also supplements, the digital marketing.
Yeah,
business,
100%,
right?
man. Like the cave definitely leverages off CCHQ. A lot of our clients, they need a studio, man. They'll pay another studio. But whereas I feel like it's a lot more convenient, it comes back to that 360 marketing where we can provide everything, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are always like, can you do this? Can you do that? And now we have another service that we can also add. Yeah, man. So
big space, bigger than most people, most houses.
Yeah, I did my research, man. 430 squares for a studio is crazy. Yeah,
that rent must be high.
It's good, but I feel like it's worth it, right? It's definitely an investment. It's an investment that I feel like will definitely pay off. A lot of capital has gone into it, as anyone that's done a fit out could imagine. I even have a cinema room upstairs to screen. So I had this vision, right? And it actually came to life for the first time yesterday. I had this vision. I created a cinema room. It's all matte black walls, surround sound system, comfy lounges, ambient LED lighting, so that when we do wedding videos or when we do like a high production video, we bring the client in and they can watch their video for the first time on a massive screen in the cinema room like they're watching their own movie. That vision came to life for the first time yesterday, and I was so happy. I was feeling all sorts of ways, man. And it came to life with two people that have always supported my business, man. Yes. And I have a lot of love for them, and we were able to shoot their wedding, and I'm so happy they trusted us with it. And man, we even recorded their reactions as well, man. And it was so wholesome to watch and to see.
Yeah, I remember watching my wedding video. It was on my phone. I was like, oh yes, that's nice.
yeah, 100%. So that's where everyone does it. They're on their phone. You get a link, here you go, maybe a drive or whatever it is. And I was like, man, I'm gonna create a cinema room to make a screening out of it, bro. Like I'm putting like a little popcorn machine in it and everything, just to give that whole comfy feeling, man. So
that's a really sick concept, I think, because I think what you're doing there as well is, when you get your wedding photos, they all look nice, but you kind of forget about it. But I think you doing that or treating your clients like celebrities, watching their own movie, it just makes a deeper emotional impact to them. And I think that's everlasting and great marketing for your business as well, because the best form of marketing is generally hard work. And that's a lot of hard work that you've put into the client. Yeah. And they're just going to be advocates for your business moving forward.
100%. And you know what the thing is, right? For me and Creative Culture, CCHQ, it's all about the experience. We have something that's called the CCHQ experience, man. And we focus so heavily on the client experience, what they're going to feel and what they're going to walk away with, man. And I guarantee you, they will never ever forget the first time they watched their wedding video in a cinema room. And
no
it's
one does
crazy.
that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and even when they do a shoot with us, or anyone does a shoot with us, they will never forget their experience and their culture that we brought on set for them and to their brand. Yeah, and it's crazy, man. We focus on so many aspects of the business to make sure that the client's experience is exactly what they wanted plus more.
No, that's really good. I think it will go well with most women because they love that stuff.
100%. At the end of the day, it's all about emotion, man.
Yeah.
And it draws back to when I first started shooting, I was able to give people confidence or feel some sort of way, man. And if I can make someone also feel happy in the process and give them a cool memory they'll never forget.
Yeah.
I think I've done my job, man. And it comes down to legacy after that.
Guys, if you need some confidence, reach out to Paul, please. He'll give you some of that.
100%. Let me know. We'll sort it out.
Well, look, hey, I wanted to ask, so with all these businesses, 3 businesses now, and still trying to grow the business, I'm sure you've got, well, one, do you even have a life outside of work? But then...
Yeah,
do you?
No. Not really. I'll be honest. For the first 8 months of this year, I didn't really train at the gym. It was only as of recent I got back into it, man. Even this past, couple of weeks, bro, it's been staying into the office till midnight and then, getting back at 7 a.m. And it's been obviously doing the daily tasks that I need to do for the businesses, but also with the new fit out, man, like rolling the carpet, organizing the walls to be painted, organizing, the trades to come in as well, building the furniture, making sure that, you know, the office is a really good workplace for the team, man. So yeah.
I think in business, you do need to invest a lot of time initially into building the foundation, which is what you're doing, but it's obviously also ever changing. So you're always continually adding to the foundation. It's like it never ends.
Yeah. I'm so blessed that I work a lot. However, work is kind of where my heart is at, and also where I find peace as well, man. I'm so happy. I love what I do, and I can come to work and love doing it, man. And it's good. Like a lot of people have their, I guess, escapes where, you know, if they go through something in life, in their personal life, they'll go to the gym and or they'll go for a walk, they'll go for a drive. And driving is one of my things, but working is also one of my things as well to help me cope with that. So I'm just happy that my coping mechanism also makes me money too. So,
yeah, that's the same as me. I remember in COVID, I was just like, damn, this is shit. You can't do anything. But I knew that if I worked, I could still make money, but I could still take my mind off the fact that, you know, we are locked in our houses, you know, our home jails, basically. So that was my coping mechanism as well. Could you share one last tip to the audience about time management? Because you're running 3 businesses. You've got a missus as well. I'm sure wants some time with you. How do you manage all that? Like, what's that? What can you share with us?
Okay, so one tip that's helped me a lot when it comes to time management or just executing tasks, man, is physically writing your to-do list. I have a notebook. I have a CCHQ notebook on my desk. Before I leave the office, I write my to-do list for the next day because your most productive time, or at least for me, your most productive time is when you get into the office and there's the first couple of hours, right? You don't want to spend that first couple of hours, first half an hour, figuring out, all right, what I'm going to do today, laying out the day, right? You get in, you have your to-do list, you hit the ground running straight away. So I feel like when it comes to executing tasks, that helps me a lot. And I've kind of shared it with other people and they've given me feedback that it's helped them as well. But
so simple.
Yeah, 100%. It's just as simple as getting your notebook out, having your to-do list, write it before you leave work and when you come into work the next day, you see it, it's ready to go. You start ticking them off. You always start off with the low-hanging fruits. I have something called 60-second tasks, right? And I always do my 60-second tasks first. What they involve is any task that takes under 60 seconds, reading your emails, replying to an email, knock those out first. And then after that, I go to priority big tasks. So yeah, man. And the thing is as well, like it's always making sure that when you have let's say a longer term task, you always allocate time to it. Like if you have 2 weeks to do it, don't just take out one big block at the end of the 2 weeks and smash it out an hour every day and just allocate it and just focus on it, man.
That's a good tip. I can't do that. Because I'm in front of my computer and I see emails flying through and it's just like something shiny that, you know, it's just popping. I'm like, I've got to look at it. So I get distracted. So I do need to, I do a to-do list, but it's always growing. You take one off, you add 3 on.
The funniest thing with my to-do list is that it will start off with like 10 things and by the end I just keep adding to it all day. And I'm like, crap, there's like 25 things now. I'm like, shit.
No, that's good. Hey, just before we go, you're running the 3 businesses. What's at the end of the road for you? Like, what's the whole purpose of running the 3 businesses here? Have you achieved it? Are you on your way to achieving it?
Definitely on my way to achieving it, man. I want to make an impact on every single person I come across, man. And, you know, obviously we have these business goals, but outside of those like straightforward business goals, man, it's to provide a workplace for people to want to come to and they're happy to come to, man. I've been a part of workplaces that, you know, they're toxic, they're not rewarding and, you know, they limit your growth. And yeah, man, I want to be able to provide a workplace and that people want to come to, man. And they love to be a part of. So that's awesome. That's definitely one of my goals, but also time freedom as well. And I feel like for everyone. And when I say time freedom, it's not necessarily, you know what, I want to retire at a young age and then just, you know, just not work again. It's if I wanted to go on holidays tomorrow, if I wanted to go overseas tomorrow, I can do that. Probably would choose to work, but at least having that option there,
That's right.
Yeah, man, that's what it means to me, man. And,
no, I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I can't, you know, people talk about retirement, things like that. I don't think I ever retire. I think I'd love the fact that I'm running a business or 2 businesses now, and being able to give myself that time to either work in the business or go on holiday, spend time with family, just
Yep.
do what you want without any negative impact to the business itself or to your personal self.
Of course.
So I think that's very important. Could I ask one last question? With the 3 businesses you're running and all the investment you're making, are you financially stable?
Financially comfortable?
Yeah, stable? No?
Yeah, I'm comfortable, right? I'm comfortable. I'll be honest, man. Like, and you can ask my brother. I wasn't always good with money growing up. I spend. It wasn't until I started this business that I started being smart with my money. Like, if you ask him, there were times weekly where I'd be like, "Hey, bro, can you transfer me $15 so I can eat dinner?" And then can you also transfer me another $5 on top because my account is in the minus? Because I need to balance it out. So if you transfer me 15, I'm only gonna have 10, but I need 15. So can you transfer me 20? But I've gotten to a point where I've been able to surround myself with people that are good with their money and give good financial advice, right? So I'm in a position where I'm comfortable to make investments to grow companies.
Amazing, man. Thank you for sharing your story and your journey and experiences. Thank you for joining the podcast today. I really appreciate you taking the time out. How do they contact you?
Man, so they can go to our website. So for the CCHQ, our marketing services, 360 marketing, creativeculturehq.com. And then when you guys want to book the cave, that's going to be available very, very, very soon. It's a studio where, everything's included. You have all 45 color backdrops that you can choose from. All lighting is there as well. It will be an experience that you guys won't forget. That one will be thecavehq.com.au. So yeah, man.
And if you want to get big, jump onto
suppculture.com.au.
Excellent. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, my guy.
So if you're about to begin your business journey or you're currently going through your business journey, tune into future episodes so that you can learn more and find a supportive community. Otherwise, follow me on LinkedIn for more.